Hi everyone! Today we'll talk about generating a quality report of your requirements based on INCOSE Guidelines and how to do this and make use of your requirements in only 10 minutes. So I'll present myself. I'm Katerina, you can see me here, and I'll try to guide you through this topic in a short time. So what is the problem that we are facing? We know that good requirements mean a higher probability of having a successful project, but we also have different writing rules. In this case, we'll talk briefly about our approach to the INCOSE rules. So in order to confront these rules, a lot of us normally go to manual analysis, and definitely it can be tedious, time-consuming, it's actually subjective. So how can we have a more automated and generalized approach to writing good requirements and improving the success of our project? The solution that we offer at the Reuse company includes kind of 2-for-1, to be both fast and effective. In only 10 minutes using our tools like RQA, you can see the results and significantly improve your quality. Sometimes less is more. 10 minutes may seem like a mission impossible, but let's be honest, with even the basic things, you can already do very useful improvements for your project. And don't hesitate to think about the ways to grow. In this case, the tool is really complete and gives you options to tailor future requirements. So, developer position includes 3 easy steps to assess your quality. And when you just get to know us, what do we do? Of course, you can go to our website and download the INCOSE library. The INCOSE library, it's our view, our automated view on the INCOSE guidelines that you can actually find in the guide provided. So this is our website. You go to download the library, give your credentials, and then you receive an email where you get the specifications on how to download the library itself. So after a short process of unzipping and finding the files, you have it here. And what you can do is to go to KM Knowledge Manager. It's our tool that manages the vocabulary. So you connect the database of your project, the one that you're going to be using for handling your requirements, choose the language you're going to be operating on. And as you can see, this is an empty knowledge manager. So there is nothing. There are no terms, there are no patterns, there are no conceptual mode elements, no cluster elements, nothing. So what you can do is to import the library you've just downloaded from the website. And after it's imported, you'll see that your terminology is not empty anymore because it's populated with elements provided by the INCOSE library, as well as different patterns, tags, and clusters. So after you've downloaded your library, the steps to assess your quality, the following one is to select your baseline. And what is actually a baseline, and what kind of baselines are we talking about in the INCOSE library we provide? So we have 2 different baselines, domain and no domain ones. What is actually a domain? Domain, it's, let's say, a way of handling your vocabulary, what I've just showed you, when you have different terms, clusters, and semantic elements. So these rules that handle the domain part make it more complex to assess the quality of requirements because they depend on populating your ontology. So let's look at this example. Here you have a demo requirement. When in RM, it's something that we probably don't know, and the administrator confirms the competency initialization. The control laptop shall request the temperature warrior to change into combat mode. So here we receive different errors. The first one is to determine if the subject is a recognized agent term. Of course, we need a specific subject for the system to know that this is the agent that is operating and doing the action. And in this case, the system doesn't detect what is the agent. Another part of the domain is the words that your system doesn't know. In this case, it's RM, laptop, some weird word that kindly reminds you of change. And this is the third error that you may see here is the incorrect spelling. Why it's important? Because the system compares the vocabulary with the words that you're inserting. And the fourth error that you may see here is the unknown acronym. only the writer of this requirement knows that RM it's ready mode. But even if you don't explain this to the system, it appears as an error. So this domain approach, it's a bit more complex because it handles the vocabulary. And now we are in our QA Quality Studio. You can see here 2 baselines I've just mentioned. So knowing a bit more what domain is, we can see the significant differences in the number of metrics that we use. So this is the first baseline using just no domain metrics. So the metrics that don't depend on the vocabulary. In total, 37 of them are enabled. And the ones that do depend on vocabulary, we use 49, and there is a total number of 55 being able to use because some of them are complementary or substitutes. So here we can find different files that are composed in our project, and today we'll work with one of those. So firstly, let's try to assign the complex, the domain and no domain baseline, and let's see what results can we get. So while we assess the correctness, we have some 3 stars, but a lot of 1 stars. Going a bit deeper into checking what is the results of our project, you can see that only 20% is rated to be high quality requirements, and over 80 is low. And the main errors, sorting them by low quality, are exactly the unclassified terms, so the words that you don't know, the articles that you maybe have not included, the recognized subject as an adjunct, and the acronym, as well as spelling. So let's save the results that we got. Not really satisfactory, to be able to see how we can improve the results later on. So just saving the current quality state. What we can do is to try to go and assign a simpler baseline that doesn't focus on the domain, the vocabulary. So we assess the correctness, and you see that the results are much better. Of course, there are some errors, but only 5 and a bit more percent of total requirements are considered to be low quality. And the majority of errors that I've just mentioned are not specified here because, again, they don't constrain the domain that you're using. So after having cleared that we can assess and have good quality without controlling the vocabulary, let's check of what this good quality can be composed. So one of the possible examples is to use active voice. This is a snapshot of the INCOSE guide, and you can see that it says use the active voice in the main sentence. So we as writers know that the main sentence is most likely something where the action really happens, so not the condition that limits the action. But for this, we need to automatize the process. As well as here, when we talk about units, INCOSE recommends to use appropriate units when stating quantities. But what is appropriate? And how do we explain to the system that the units that we want to use are appropriate? Now, before issuing the final report, I'll show you on this example how to tackle these questions and how you can easily, without controlling the vocabulary, automatize this process. So first of all, we change shall into should. Why? Because should is mainly a recommendation and we should be more clear in our requirements. And here you can directly see the error appearing of not using the banned modal verbs. It appears in different explanations and you're able to tackle the details. The second part, it's stating that you should have approximately 50 kilograms as a weight. And of course, approximately doesn't serve to a requirement. So we have errors appearing that say that, probably that's not the best word to use. Particularly, it states that this is a vague verb and an imprecise word to mention the weight required. This is the one that I mentioned already, correspondence between the units and the measure that you're using. So in this case, I've changed weight stated in meters, and the system automatically tells us that I don't think that weight should be set in meters because there is a mismatch. Meters don't correspond to stating the weight. Now we can go back to our normal quality and we see high results. And let's try to see this active and passive voice things. So in this requirement, The active part goes after the condition. So let's try to create a passive voice in the active part. As long as we did this, immediately we have an error stating that don't use passive voice outside of the condition block, and it actually shows you what is the problem. So be maintained is a problem. But now, if we also add a passive voice in the condition, so focus here on the low quality, you can see that the value it's only 1. So the system doesn't punish you for using passive voice in the condition, because you can enable this as a possible option. And if we get back to the active part of the sentence being in active voice, again, we don't have any error because the system accepts use of the passive voice outside. And checking again that we have a good quality, let's check how can we eventually create a report. So in our QA Quality Studio, you have 3 different reports: custom, full. Today I'll show you the short one, and you can open it in different formats to see the progression of your requirements, the number of requirements corresponding to each group, low, medium, and high quality. You're able to check the most frequent error and the least frequent ones. So to be able to control this and go deeper, here you're able to see by every metric you enable the quantity of rules. Like here, for example, using INCOSE rule and the errors that represent this metric in your set of requirements. And here you can see the specific examples that demonstrate what is an error. So here, as with using only using domain and no domain, so here it's only no domain assessment. We save the evolution, and here you can finally see how we've progressed from using domain and no domain approach, and from actually starting on 20% of the total quality as high to jump to 90. Because we focus on the basics of the tool that can be offered. Thank you very much for your attention. That's all from my side. If any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you.